दोस्तों, welcome to Business Connect interview, and today I am with the father-son duo of KHC Healthcare Private Limited. I am with Mr. Vinod Wahi and Anuj Wahi. Vinod Wahi is the chairman and CEO of KHC Healthcare, and Anuj Wahi, his son, is the vice chairman and managing director. Welcome to Business Connect interview, sir.
Thank you.
And सबसे पहले शुरुआत करते हैं कि आप इतने टाइम से KHC हेल्थ केयर जो आपने अभी एक यंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आपने खुद डेवलप करी, एंड यू बीइंग अ वेटरन इन द हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर, तो आप किस तरह से आइडिया आया और आपको लगा कि ये करना चाहिए?
Well, to be honest with you, it was not my idea that I should start something of my own. The idea came from Anuj. Anuj left for US at a fairly young age of 2021 to do his business management, which he did from one of the best universities in the US. And then he worked for two dream companies, GE and B. Brown Healthcare. And my wife in particular, and I also, we were feeling uncomfortable that this youngster now must come back to India and let him do whatever he wants to do. So I used to go to US quite often on my business trips. And every trip, whenever I was in the East Coast, we used to meet together. And the main topic used to be that when are you returning to India? And he was clever enough to put a rider. He said, look, you have been insisting, both of you, that I should come back to India. If I have to come back and work in India, I'm very comfortable over here because
Yeah.
I am working in these large companies.
Right.
And he was controlling the American markets for those products. So, which was correct. So he said, my condition is you have learned a lot, you have done a lot of work in the Indian industry. If you want me back, let's do something of our own.
Okay.
He tried to convince me by giving so many of examples, because being a son, I used to share with him all that was been happening
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Indian
correct.
healthcare industry. So on my way back, I looked back to whatever Anuj had said, and I saw that look, whatever I have done in the last 30, 35 years or so at that time, I have been running two organizations successfully as perceived by the promoters, as perceived by the clients, as perceived by the industry. And I have been running those companies as if these were my own companies.
Correct. Yeah.
And we were very profitable, we were growth oriented. We did whatever one could have done that. So I realized, I said, yes, that is correct. I've learned a lot, I've contributed a lot, my work has got recognized. And I have been doing the same work, what Anuj is suggesting that we should do.
Okay.
So I said, okay, you win
All
and
right.
I lose.
So, Anuj, how was the conversation when you told him that, I want to do on my own when I want to come back? You were in a settled job in US. Okay,
Yes.
you were doing very well. How difficult was for you or easy for you to take a decision to become an entrepreneur with your dad?
Well, I personally feel it was difficult at the first because my mother wanted that I come back and I choose a career of my choice and run it. But I knew my father's success perhaps more than her. And
Did you beat your stubbornness?
I mean, what I've really seen, if I look back in the last so many, 2.5, 3 decades of his professional experience as the CEO of Wipro Biomed and being associated with Mr. Azim Premji, and prior to that, as the country head for Boehringer Mannheim Diagnostics, which is now known as Roche in India, I really felt that this was a big opportunity that I can, capitalize on,
Okay.
because there are two types of CEOs. I think one who lead from the office
Yeah.
and are more administrative CEOs, and the others are, who lead from the office, who lead the teams, but also kind of work in the front end, in the trenches. So he was among the second one, who used to work a lot in the field. And practically, when I used to come back to India during my holidays, with so many articles which were being published on him and all that, I used to do my own little research that all clients knew him exceedingly well
Right.
in a lunch in Pennsylvania, and that the moment him. And I could see that he is getting convinced, and I was sure that on the flight back, he will, once he lands safely in Delhi, he will give me a ring and tell me that I have agreed. So I think that
So, that decision that you took, you were reporting into Mr. Azim Premji, a veteran himself, and you were a veteran in healthcare, a veteran reporting into veteran. How difficult it was to leave, such an honorable position with a man like him. How difficult was it for you to leave?
Uh, to be honest, I don't think it was difficult at all. If you talk on Wipro and if you talk of Mr. Azim Premji in particular, Mr. Premji is a highly professional person
Okay.
who gives enormous empowerment to you to decide whatever you want to do. We used to have extensive review, what you call monthly reviews, and he would come out with very good questions, knowing very well that healthcare was new for Wipro at that time in IT company. But when I look back, I don't think I ever felt any difficulties in interacting with another veteran. And the same was the case prior to Wipro when I initiated the concept of advancement in clinical diagnostics. Uh, Germans, they were the world leader, global leaders at that time. Mannheim is the name of a place very close to Frankfurt, which was my second home. I used to go there very often. And they were also very professionals, So I picked up from all these gentlemen
Okay.
and inculcated in my approach.
What were the challenges when you both came together for the first time professionally?
Right.
Father son, perfect. Like when it even comes to professionally, what were the initial hiccups and challenges? What was the bone of contention? कैसे किया?
the challenge was that in which we are a quintessential a products and service company today.
Yes.
And way back, even 15 years, we were when we started, the idea was to be a quintessential products and services company. So the challenge was to identify which kind of products we really get into. So that was the time when we both used to have intensive discussions. I had stayed for about 5 years in the US, but during that last 7 months of my stay in the US, we were very well connected on the phone and the emails, and we decided that we will not enter into any Me Too kind of a category, which had huge volumes. It could be scalable. It is scalable even now. So we thought, let us enter into a niche segment where we have, some value proposition which we can go to the clients, talk about, instead of, using the calculator that this product is for this price, this product is for this price. I'm referring here to the routine chemistry diagnostic tests,
Okay.
like the urea, creatinine, glucose, lipids, and your LFTs and all. So we both agreed upon that yes, we will not enter into any Me Too kind of a product. So that was a challenge, and we had a solution to that. That we will enter into niche segment.
But tell me, what are the kind of products that you finally zeroed down on, and what are you selling now in India, and how are you placed?
Right. So, our sense of starting the organization was that we will enter into cutting edge technologies, I would say rather game changing technologies, bring them into India, and then serve to the customers in the clinical diagnostic space, into the pharmaceutical space, and the life science space. Now, our business model, if you ask me that what our business is all about, we have tie-ups with 8 world leaders who are known for their products globally.
Correct.
They are truly the world leaders in their own respective fields.
Right.
So we identified 3 verticals with a lot of cross-selling opportunities. So one was clinical diagnostics, pharma, and life sciences. In clinical diagnostics, we ventured into a path-breaking product known as multiple myeloma.
Okay.
It is essentially a bone marrow cancer in common parlance.
Okay.
And this was a breakthrough product for the Indian market. And I remember we had only 1 or 2 customers.
Which year was this?
This was late 2005.
Okay.
We started officially marketing them on 1st Jan 2006. And the company is known as the Binding Site
Yeah.
Group Limited from UK.
Yes.
They are the world leaders and the pioneers in diagnosing and monitoring of multiple myeloma.
Okay.
So we have the exclusive rights to market, sell, service, and support the customers using these products into India.
Okay.
And then we kept on diversifying. We ventured into autoimmune disease diagnostics. Again, this is a very, very specialized area. Not anymore now, because when we ventured in with them, it was about 15 years back. But now there are many players for that in India. I think more than 50.
Okay.
When we started, it was about 7 or 8. So in 15 years, we have many players in India.
So you had almost like not a monopoly, but then you had an edge in selling those products.
Absolutely.
But right now, is it getting difficult for you because there are 50 players out there?
I won't say it's getting difficult. We still use the scientific marketing, means that you got to train your people.
Okay.
We send our people overseas every year. There are about 5, 6, or maybe even there was 1 year, I think 12 people went abroad for training. So we focus on reference clients. Scientific marketing has 3 ingredients to it: that focus on training of your people, focus on the reference clients, because if they use your products, others follow,
Right.
and the last was that try to sell at a premium over the competitors.
So, you just mentioned that your employees do go out of India and train abroad. Why do you think that we have to send people out of India and they get trained outside? Why don't we, why can't India have an equal, sort of a robust healthcare system where people actually come to us and get trained? So why India always has been in a way lagging behind, where people, I wouldn't say lagging behind, but then we go outside and get trained in healthcare. Why can't they come? Would we any day see that kind of a phase? Where have we been lagging?
You see, as you also said, it's not a question of lagging. The question is that, as Anuj said, we are into specialty products. Now, specialty products means that it cannot be used by every laboratory or every hospital across the country. There are established hospital laboratories who will be using these
Okay.
products. Same is the pharmaceuticals or into the research institute, that's the life sciences. When you are into specialty field, it is very critical that your people must be trained. We do have the team coming down from the overseas to Delhi,
Okay.
where they provide training depending upon what should be the duration of the training. That is number one part.
Right, sir.
The number two is that the foreign associates are also doing the international training. These are the structured international training that they do it at their overseas facilities.
Okay.
Now that gives an opportunity to our team not only to learn over there, but also interact with, host of other people who are coming from different parts of the country.
Absolutely.
And once they come back, it helps them. Now, what we have done, uh, that what we say that once we have launched a product and our people have been trained extensively within the country as well as overseas, and you are launching that product. Now the product is being used. Obviously, there will be some question which will be coming to you, whether you are in pharma, like a research institute, or the diagnostic. And we say in 90% of the cases, our team should be able to answer those questions
Okay.
on the spot. Because what happens, uh, then the client, has confidence in you that, hey, he is the person.
That's where the decision is taken.
That is where the decision
Yeah,
is.
absolutely, absolutely.
That helps. Only 10% of the cases are there where our team, we have a very strong team working under Anuj, the scientific team, who interact with the foreign associates, the scientific counterpart, to get an answer to those scientific questions. And then they put it in the library, which is visible to the entire field in the country.
Okay.
Entire people should know. Learning from one person goes to learning to 44 persons
So
through
do
the
you have a
library.
team pan India?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
right from the very first day.
Oh.
What Anuj initiated, I would add to that, we have developed ourselves and our team in such a fashion that we must do the difficult thing first. The most difficult part we must do first.
Sir, aren't you tired doing the difficult things?
No, I'm not
No,
tired.
because you've been so much into healthcare. I'm really surprised by this conversation that you're still talking about difficult things.
I
Sir, you
have
are
a-
the Amitabh Bachchan of healthcare because he's got corona and come back and now he's shooting for KBC. So, sir, matlab, there's a perfect comparison that we can make.
People have given him this compliment.
Have they?
For
Oh
the
my
diagnosis.
goodness, sir, I got it right. So,
No, there is nothing like that.
No?
I think I continue to learn even at this age. Learning never stops. And anybody who says that I have learned everything, I think is an end. One should not be into service or into business. It's a continuous process because the way the company was being handled or the business was being done, let's say 10 years back, the dynamics have totally changed. Why 10 years back, a year back, the dynamics have changed. And that's where Anuj would have talked to your team. There are a series of innovations that we both debate and
So
we
talking
bring
of
into the
innovations, so yours is a B2B business. How difficult it is to sort of get the innovations right and unique initiatives that you take on that kind of level where your interactions are with professionals and not with the customers directly. So basically, people will never know that they are being treated through your equipments, But then the people who are using them know that this is the company that we are dealing with. So customer will never know. Somebody like me who goes to the hospital will never know about KHC Healthcare. But the B2B segment will obviously they know you. You're out there and famous. What are the kind of initiatives that you take for them, and what are the unique innovations that you make sure and at a B2B level that they deem right and fit right?
You see, the most critical component in this entire game is that if one of my colleagues is calling on a customer, let's say you get about 15-20 minutes sit over there to talk over because the doctors are also very busy, these days.
yeah.
And as Anuj said, our message to the team is that we must have presence at the referral places. So they are very busy, very, very busy.
Okay.
Now, within these 15-20 minutes that the time is allotted to you, how can you be different than host of other people who are calling on that particular person? That matters a lot. Once you are identified that you are a different person, I think that 15 minutes can take 1 hour also, because the doctor is keen to know more and more from you. If the doctor can find it out that yes, these are the guys who can help me whenever I need them, the interest would come.
Right.
So how you should be different from the others, and that's where we are adding a continuous flow of innovation, because each innovation also has a shelf life. After some time, it loses that particular power that you want to have it, although fundamentals remain the same. So there has to be a continuous flow of innovation that we have been bringing in.
I think what you just said, that how do we really differentiate in those 15-20 minutes? When our team goes out there, they are all MSc biotechnology or MSc immunology or microbiology. And when they talk science,
Yeah.
they talk everything which is backed up by evidence in terms of medical journals, scientific publications, and the doctors really give them that is not merely, it's just not a sales call, right? They are making what we have inculcated a culture that make the transactional relationship into a transformational relationship. So when they talk with evidence. Like I just spoke to you on multiple myeloma, it's a bone marrow cancer. There are 3,000 publications for the product that we represent in India, and we virtually have 100% market share. But then this is not, a Me Too product.
Okay.
It's the incidence of multiple myeloma is just 1% of all the cancers. So this is the product where you can bring in a lot of value proposition, you will get a lot of attention, and you can scale it in your own way, and then you become the leader in the addressable market size that you have.
But don't you think that's also a pain, because it's a disadvantage because the demand is not that much?
No, we create the demand. How we create is many of the medical oncologists, clinical hematologists, and doctor, even the internal medicine doctors, although they are aware and very well aware because they are very well integrated with the world medical fraternity, but I think our team does a remarkable job by spreading this awareness at the clinician level, and that is the grassroots level. They call on medical oncologists. I have personally visited many. You have to wait for 5 hours because there are cancer patients outside and you are a marketer going inside.
Yeah.
But when they see a Lancet publication or a leukemia publication or something from the Mayo Clinic US, they really want us inside, that what is this about. So I think we create the market ourselves by increase of prescriptions, because once the doctors get convinced that this product in particular, it is called the serum free light chain assay, and it is a polyclonal based serum free light chain assay, that if we start doing this testing on the people who come for who are diagnosed with multiple myeloma, this will really help on the longevity of the life span. They monitor the patients, their chemotherapy drugs are monitored because of the values of the result.
Yeah.
So I think we create the market. It's not a bane. We increase the market size from a startup operation way back. So we have gone into a scale-up mode, but the products still are niche. and that gives us a advantage, that we can really talk about the products, its features, advantages. I just level that we market a product by the name, a brand, Associates of Cape Cod. They're based out in Boston, and we have a tie-up with them for last exclusive tie-up, long-term tie-up for last 14 years. This is a technique, this is a bacterial endotoxin test.
Okay.
So before the ampules, before the injectables come out in the market, you have to identify that is there any bacteria in the ampule, in the vial, and how much if it is. So quantification and detection. So we have an exclusive association with this organization, and our products are going to over 214 pharma companies. I keep a tab on which ones are. So customers like Cipla, like Abbott, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Bharat Biotech, Zydus Cadila, and then other 200 odd names. Many of them use our products.
And you know what you said, Anu said about his favorite, one of the initiatives that he has taken is cross-selling.
Yes.
Now, if you have entered into the named it, let's say, Cadila, right? Cadila were also coming out with vaccine with this particular product called PCC. Now, the same kind also has potential of the biological and chemical indicator, for which we represent another very strong company based in New York, that is Crosstex.
Okay.
So, is the same client, since he has got confidence in us and he has been doing business with us,
Right.
it becomes relatively easier for our team, who are well qualified, well trained on that, to pick up his additional requirement for yet another product, but again it comes through us. So, that's what you
Yes,
word on
yes.
So you need a
the
lot of
process.
spontaneity and presence of mind for a sale
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
So that's why I think that's a great
Back to
initiative.
back, that we have a very focused approach in hospitals. Our target departments are well defined. There are only three. One is the hematology department, one is the microbiology department, and immunology department. So these are the three departments, where our team has to go. When they go there, they need not essentially just talk on one product. That decreases the productivity of the call. They have a product basket of only three principals. Principals means the foreign associates.
Yeah.
And they'll talk on the binding site. They will talk on the IBL. It's a part of a very big Swiss organization called TCAN Group, where we have infectious diseases, neurotransmitters, catecholamines, endocrinology products. But it may sound that this is a lot,
Yeah.
but the department is only one.
Yeah.
So I think in the hospital segment, our team is very focused in three departments. In the pharma space, they are again very focused in three areas, that is QC microbiology, R&D, and vaccines. In the life sciences, we go by the diseases, the disease specific applications, and we have a company which is known as Biorad Antibodies, erstwhile ABD Serotech, and these are used for the these are the biotherapeutic antibodies which are used by biotech companies like Biocon for their biosimilar studies
Oh,
which are going on.
okay. Okay.
Right.
So coming to Corona now, like the quintessential topic of things, you can't ignore it. So how difficult it has been to work in a scenario like this, or how easy has it been for you being a healthcare company?
That's the question, which keeps coming across.
Yeah.
Is a novel virus, because we don't have antibodies in our body, so they can't detect it, so they can't fight it out, and we don't have vaccine also, which are going to hit the market in the next 3, 4, 5 months or so.
Yes.
I think if I look at myself, and if I look at Anuj, I think it has given us, since I don't go to office, I am operating from home. As I said, I have a home desk,
Okay.
facing a lot of greenery around, so it keeps me mentally also fit, like our office. You must come to our office to
Yes,
show
so you
you.
were a nature lover. In Bombay, you wanted a sea facing
Yes, yes.
apartment, and right now you have a greenery face.
Yeah, there's a lot of greenery around, because I like it, and if you come to our office in DLF,
Yes, that is also having a big
I will
part.
definitely come.
you do come, must come. You're most welcome. And from miles together, you can't see anything because there is an idea behind it. Is not that why we have developed that particular office. That we wanted that the natural sunlight should come inside.
So it's a must.
Where all the people who are working in that particular organization, because we are here only because of people. Like we say, we are here only because of customers. We are here only because of foreign associates.
Yeah.
So the people also have to be mentally very, very fresh. And that is possible only if you are getting the natural light. So here what happens, I think we have been able to get a lot of time in focusing and having a strategic thinking, which I must be honest, was not possible for me personally when I was in the office spending
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 hours.
Correct, absolutely.
Here I
For
can,
none of us actually.
yeah, here I can think a lot,
just
we
a
can
rat
think a
race.
lot, then we meet together and we say, hey, let us do like that. That is the one part.
Okay.
Secondly, during the COVID time, which has already spread almost 5 months now, the connectivity with the client become absolutely essential. The first 1.5 months was totally flop. Everything had come to a standstill. But I think then what we started bringing in again the innovation of visual field working.
Yes.
Like what Anu said, that if you go to AIMS, you visit these places. So we said, you visualize that you are in AIMS. That is what
Okay.
we told our colleague, our field, who is responsible for AIM. And then you pick up your phone and you should be ready what all questions you're going to ask and interact with those clients.
Okay.
So they started all doing it. So this became a visual field working.
Okay.
And then what we said as the economy opened up, then they started calling on the key customers, whether you are in pharmaceutical or life sciences or in the diagnostic. But now other people are calling on the key clients also because the connectivity has to be maintained. And very recently, about a month back, we have initiated the concept of 3+3.
Yes, we keep bringing.
This initiative is done. 3+3 means is in the pharmaceutical sector, which is a big market. And we said each one should have the 3 clients whom you have to convert it
Okay.
into your products.
Okay.
And then there should be a second wave like army, that in case anybody doesn't come to you in a reasonable period of time, then the second client from the second wave should take over. This is again to enhance the customer base and have the voice connectivity with the field people. Now, coming out with any initiative or innovation is easy, but each initiative and innovation that we have launched is supported by strategy. That how are you going to do that? So that's where our scientific team has come out with some communication and has highlighted what are the benefits that we have, so that each one of the team members when he's in the field is able to take up that initiative and enhance it. So
Names Dr. Lal Path Labs, Metropolis Healthcare, Dr. Avinash Fatke Lab, Vimta Labs, Dr. Dang's Lab in Delhi, Pathkind. These all SRL diagnostics. And then same for the hospitals. But I'll come first to these reference labs. These reference labs are really innovating at their best. So end of March, April and May was a bad time And if your clients are not doing well, you automatically will not do well. But we have seen the uptick from June onwards. We are seeing the diagnostics opening up. For our mission at this point in time is that whatever we did last year, we should come up to that level. This is what we are internally aiming at. But I think I would really like to thank through this interview our team. They are our most precious assets. They have done a remarkable job while we give and sit and give this interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are the guys and girls who are working.
Absolutely.
We have given them all precautions from March onwards. We told our CFO that create immediately, and we provided, and it went to all across India. The gloves, the masks, the sanitizers, the disinfectants, the goggles, the face shields, because these are the guys and the team at the front end.
Correct.
We are very passionate about speaking to customers. Before I walked in, I was speaking with one of the customer. Every day I see him from 8 to 8 on his desk. He's talking to customers, he's talking to our team. We have a leadership team in the organization team. They manage their own valuable team members.
Right.
So we have two teams at KHC Healthcare India Private Limited. One is our national sales team and one is our national support team. So we are bringing in a lot of difference. I think innovation is truly at its best because everyone wants to survive and thrive
So
for
you
future.
just mentioned just a while back that you want to come back to your last year's growth.
That is right.
So are you trying to say that you are you're not even to that level because of Corona?
I would say the first 3 months, the first quarter
Yeah.
is low,
Okay.
but we see the second quarter picking up
Okay.
because of, as I said, we are very fortunate to have such kind of clients. The names I just gave you, they are themselves innovating a lot to survive and thrive. Because of their innovation, they keep the traction is going.
No, but when on 23rd, I think,
23rd of March, yeah, that's when.
lockdown was announced, I think the entire industry had come to standstill
Yeah.
because there are two reasons for that. A, this was the last month of the fiscal year. March 31st,
Correct.
all the companies have to close up their year.
Right.
And the second is normally it happens in any business, March gives you the best. And out of the best days are the last end.
Yeah, that's when the orders come.
Yeah. Because you have to close everything. Yeah,
Yes.
I
So,
get it.
everything came to a standstill and this all happened suddenly that, hey, what has happened? So that's what Anuja said. The first quarter means, I would say, those 10 days and April month was totally off. And that is something which has given us a lot of power
Really,
to think
sir?
it over. Of course, it gave us a lot of power
You know,
to think it over.
And
The positivity in that also.
we do find, because as I said, even during these tough times, we are leveraging our balance sheet. We have a robust balance sheet.
Correct.
We never went into the easy cut that we deduct our employee salaries. We have not deducted any salary
Oh, it's
for
not.
anyone across the organization.
What about layoffs?
No layoffs at all. We are providing immense support as far as the COVID essential protective gears are
Anybody
concerned.
who's in healthcare and wants to join a company, you know where to come now because they have not laid off anybody, they have not cut salaries. Have you given hikes?
No, we haven't given. But what I would like to say here, that in the adverse times, you don't really build character. It reveals the character. So I won't say that the companies who are laying off or who are deducting salaries are at fault. I really cannot comment on that because everyone has their own unique business model. And this team has been with us for last almost 11 to 15 years. There is less than 2% attrition, and all there is potential. I won't say that it is not a tough year for us. It is certainly a tough year for us. But at a board of director level, we consider that we can stay away from the salary for 3, 4, 5 months, but we should not deprive our team for that.
Okay.
And we took these realistic steps.
Okay. So how is the vaccine going to change the game? Back to business?
I think,
better than,
yes.
Better than before business? How is it going to change? You said it's going to take 3 to 5 months. I mean, I'm not from the healthcare industry, so I cannot comment on that. But sir, being a veteran, sir, मिल जाएगी ना vaccine?
Well, not I want it 3 months is not. You see, one has to pass through the various phases, and then you have to submit the regulatory clearance from the Drug Controller of India. But as the health minister has also said that the product should come in towards the end of the year or early next year. Yes, once it comes, it will change the life. Of course, then the herd immunity will come.
Yeah,
That's what we
yeah.
are looking at.
Yes.
I think nothing is permanent in life. As I was just talking to you a few minutes back,
Yes.
this is not a balanced way of living.
Yeah, absolutely.
That staying at home, and so I think Corona is also not going to be permanent. I am very positive.
Nothing is permanent in this.
Absolutely. So I think a virus has taken and made us all think that a tiny virus can do such a thing. It has closed
Tiny
the.
invisible thing can,
Absolutely.
change the game.
Taken up the
Shut down the
entire world.
But vaccine is definitely the exit path
Yeah.
of this novel
There's no
coronavirus.
other way, no other way.
Correct.
And we have 3 Indian companies who are working very, very hard for the last many months. Bharat Biotech, that is Cadillus.
And they all are our customers. As I didn't mention two foreign associates. There is another company which we represent, Alpha Wasserman and Rame Hart. Both have offices in USA and in Netherlands, but both are focused on vaccines.
Oh.
One is focused on cell-based vaccines, one is focused on egg-based vaccines. So here again, Alpha Wasserman enjoys 95% market share in the world, and that is including India. We have many clients over here. These are zonal continuous flow ultracentrifuges for virus purification.
Okay, sir, I was talking to Anuj about
This timing has brought, there are upsides, there are downsides. I think we should just focus on the positives.
So, as a senior veteran and an entrepreneur now, made by Anuj, but then it was your decision. What do you? This is my last question to both of you. What is your suggestion or the success mantra that you want to give to the young entrepreneurs who want to be a part of the healthcare segment in India? One from you, Anuj, and one from you, sir.
I'll let you take it.
As I said, we have enormous talents in the industry, no doubt about it. Very intelligent, very well qualified people that we have at in KSC Healthcare and outside also. These are the two ends of the rod. Working successfully in an organization is one part. Becoming an entrepreneur is altogether a different part. Like it never came in my mind. I worked for 2 large companies and I spent almost a total of 37 years in them. It never came in my mind that I want to become an entrepreneur. It is, as I said, it is Anuj idea. What I have seen in the industry, and sometimes it is very painful for me to listen. We feel that If I am handling a sales activity successfully, right up to the as a national sales manager, I will be a successful entrepreneur also. It does not happen. It is not so. If I have been handling my service successfully over a period of time, that I can become a successful entrepreneur also. It does not happen because to become an entrepreneur, one has to analyze it very, very critically. What are those factors one should look into before you take a call about the availability of funds? Do you have enough of the funds?
Yeah.
Not from the short term, but long term. Short term, players are gone. COVID has also, you will see that once the COVID is over, the number of competitors would be few
Yeah.
because many have washed away.
Yes.
A one a overnight player will not work. So you should be very clear that do you have enough of funds, not only for today but for tomorrow also. And that is where if you find people are taking away the provident fund and they are pooling with two, three people and
Yeah.
starting a company, and they feel that when that person became a successful entrepreneur, why I cannot? And that has been a failure. I think the second one is nobody really looks into that what you want to achieve in becoming an entrepreneur. Do you want to become an entrepreneur only at one place or you want to be at the national place? What actually your aim is? So, to become an entrepreneur, I personally feel one must have the requisite experience in running an organization. I'm saying in running an organization because
Okay.
when you are running an organization, you are taking care of all the activities that an organization should have,
Correct.
including sales, which is an integral part of an
Yes.
successful organization. And once you have that, only then you should chip in. Otherwise, stay wherever you are, and I think you will be the
So that's a
happiest
very
person.
good point that you made. Why do you become an entrepreneur? Actually, the reason people don't know, mostly they see the return that they're going to get, making more money, sort of pushes them to become an entrepreneur, but they don't see the character behind it. They just go with the monetary benefits that they see from a distance.
Yeah.
So that's a very good point that you made. Anuj, what about you?
Do these people who want to venture out on their own, they have to really first understand that are they able to identify any gap in any given industry, because that is the whole idea. If they are able to identify a gap in any given industry, then I think, do they have the requisite passion? Are they really mad about that thing? Are they ready to work 24/7? Do they have enough capital? Can they raise funds? Because most of the startups fail because of lack of funding. So I think my father had deep pockets working for Wipro and Roche. So I think I was fortunate that I could. We never ever had to borrow anything. All that we run is through our internal accrual. So I think one should become an entrepreneur. I totally agree with him. There is a term called intrapreneurship, that once you have run a organization's P&L for maybe 3 or 4 years, you see the business, from all the angles. You know how to run sales, service, logistics, finance. I think once you have that requisite knowledge for a couple of years, that's the right time to venture in. But I think whatever I've said is my opinion.
Yeah.
There are many people who venture in and become very successful.
So thank you so much for talking to me, sir. Thank you, Anuj, for being with us on Business Connect interview. I had a lovely time talking and knowing about the healthcare industry. Honestly, although I thought before this interview that it will be very technical, but the way you explained it to me, and sir, the way you also explained it to me, I feel that it's just another industry that I was talking about. It was really great chatting up. Thank you so much for being on our show. This is it, viewers, for our Business Connect interview today. Keep watching this space for more such exciting and insightful interviews. This is me, Preeti Hoon, signing out. Bye.